Hey folks, welcome back. So this week we are continuing on with several projects that we've already started and been doing for maybe at least a couple weeks or so now. The first one that I want to start working on is to start burning up some of these scrap boards from the barn teardown. I'm also hoping to work on a little bit more with the old spreader that's about 100 years old or so, get a little bit more done with that maybe. And then also we're going to get in the new points, which is one of the components of the ignition system. So we'll be getting in the new points for the old Land Cruiser, the correct ones this time. And hopefully that'll be the last component that we need in order to get that thing running. So let's head outside and we'll get started. Alrighty, so today it's getting on towards late afternoon. It's about 3:15 or so, 3:30. And we are just gonna try working on getting some of this stuff back here burnt up today. Now, at the moment for this area, every year from the beginning of February through the end of like April or so, we're on a burn restriction where we're only allowed to burn after 4 p.m. and until midnight. So it kind of can make it a little bit difficult to get stuff like this taken care of. But we're gonna go ahead and start getting some of this piled up off to the side because right now that's kind of underneath where those power lines are. So probably not a good idea to burn that where it is, but we'll start pulling some of this. I think we're gonna move it over here near our pile of rocks, burn it over there. We'll get a bunch of it ready to go here, and as soon as that clock turns 4 p.m., we're gonna light that thing up and see how much of this stuff we can get gone. Alrighty, it's a new day. Our pile has pretty well burnt down, and as you can see, we've got some pieces of metal and stuff here that got mixed in with the wood that need to be sorted out here before we start this back up. It's actually a few minutes after 4 again, so we are good to start piling more stuff on here and getting this going. And then once that's started, I'll show you what I've been working on for the last couple hours. All right, so what I've been working on today is trying to get this spreader here to do that. Now, previously, I could not get this thing to spin because over here on the side, And I'll show you here a little closer. When the spreader spins like this, there is a kind of an offset piece that spins around, and then that is what turns kind of a ratchet system, which advances your apron, or the part that your manure or wood chips or whatever it is you're spreading is on. Previously, because this had sat in the same place for the last 40 or 50 years, that had gotten all seized up where this turns. So it took a good bit of work to get that thing loosened up. But now, when this spins, this kind of ratchets around and it makes our apron roller advance. So once we get the apron on there, it should work as intended. And that is what it's supposed to do, just like that. Alrighty folks, so today, if we are lucky, we just might get old Rusty here to start, maybe. Now, I just got in my my new part here. This is the thing that they sent me the wrong one of before, so I already checked, and this is the one that I'll be needing. These are points, so we'll get these installed, and then maybe this thing will actually fire up. Oh man, that is a beautiful sound right there. Man, you got some fumes coming into the cab there. All right, well, just like that, we are now at the end of the week. It's been one of those weeks. I've been running around doing a bunch of other stuff that I wasn't exactly planning on doing, but anywho, it has been 3 days now since I burnt out here last, and there's actually still heat coming off from the pile here, so hopefully if we grab some of this stuff over here and throw it on, try going for some drier stuff, it might take off. I hope so. I hope so. All right, well, we got that thing going. It started very, very well considering it's been 3 days since I burned anything on there. Just scraped a little bit off the top and there was a ton of coals underneath there. So that went very well. Now, what I want to work on here is I've got a couple compost piles going here. I got one over here that's setting, that needs to cook for a little bit. But then I've got another one over here where I just dumped some chicken manure. There's a little bit of wood chip mixed in with that. And I've got a load of stuff in the back of the truck, and that is some wood chips that are kind of halfway decomposed, and I'm going to dump those on with this manure because that needs some other carbon kind of materials to go with it. But before I do that, I want to make sort of a back, sort of, I guess, retaining wall or something behind there to keep this stuff from going through the fence. And I've got smoke blowing in my eyes. And for that, I'm going to use some of these rocks that we pulled out from where the old barn was. Then those were used as the foundation. So we're just going to stack up some of those here behind this manure pile, and hopefully that'll work. All right, folks, that is going to be it for this week's video. Next week, we should be working probably on some of these same projects again, more of the burning, because we still have a good bit of that left, and probably more work on the spreader, and I don't know, probably some other projects as well. But we'll just be kind of continuing on with several of these projects. So that is going to be it for this week's video. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.